This week, we're going to talk about the number one community that people are moving to in the Palm Beach area. This week, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of moving to Avenir in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Luxury Homes, and welcome to Avenir. So where is Avenir? So if we look at the larger map of Florida, as you could see, Avenir, we are in the southeastern part of the state. We are about 80 miles north of the biggest city in the biggest metropolitan area, downtown Miami. And it's close to a lot of things. Let me show you a few things before I go into the specific communities. If you're looking at a specific community or considering them, this is a good video for you. So as I zoom in a little bit, Palm Beach is literally Jupiter, some parts of Tequesta, but Jupiter technically to Boca. That's about 40 miles north to south, just west of the downtown Palm Beach Gardens area and the biggest city in all of Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. More on that later. It's one of the best places to go out in the area. We sit just west of Palm Beach Gardens, downtown at the Gardens, which has a ton going on, is this place we call Avenir in Palm Beach Gardens. There's a reason this is the number one community that people are moving to literally in all of South Florida. I'll give you start with a con right now, because some people, if this is what's important to you, then maybe this is not the community for you. But as you can tell, Avenir and Palm Beach Gardens, there's a lot of sub-communities in there, is about a half hour to the beach. It is a little bit of a ways. They are doing a lot in terms of building roads and things to change things, but it's about a half hour to the beach. If you are looking for being on the beach living, Avenir is not for you. But one of the pros when it comes to moving to Avenir, and I'll give you some things that people like and appreciate about Avenir. Number one is golf. It is probably one of the nicest golf areas that you don't have to golf in all of the area. It is next to Sand Hill Crane, which is a public golf course. I had lunch there yesterday at the Dancing Crane, which is the restaurant on the course. It is terrific. That's the public course. Also, on premises within, and I'll probably talk a little bit more about. I will talk more about this as we dig into the specific communities. Within Avenir, there's something called Panther National, the Panther National Membership Community Course. It's a Jack Nicklaus signature course. I've heard it's one of the top golf courses in all of Florida. It's like one of three that are meant to be top. And as you know, this is the golf capital of the world. More Jupiter, which is nearby. There are more professional golfers that live in Jupiter than anywhere else in the world. And you have these two, standout golf courses. This is a great community if that's what you're thinking. You don't have to be a member of these golf communities, which is another great thing. And last but not least, before I switch topics, is that it's a very golf cart friendly community. So even though you don't necessarily want to golf per se, you can take your golf cart to Publix, to the restaurants. It is so golf cart friendly, making this one of the most unique communities in all of South Florida. Later, we're going to be talking about this website. This is the best way to navigate all of Palm Beach and the surrounding areas, Port St. Lucie, Broward, Fort Lauderdale, right here with existing home searches, new construction searches. Stick around. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can get involved and see what some of the best communities are in Palm Beach. Before I dig in deep, I just want to mention also, look where it is relative to these two major roads going north and south. There's the Florida Turnpike and Route 95. These are the best roads to go north and south in all of our area. So it's convenient to be able to go if you're going to Disney, if you're going to the Keys. It's one of the things I want to point out real quick. We are literally almost equal, not quite equidistant, but we are like right between Orlando, which is about a 2 to 2.5 hour ride from here. So if you have kids and you want to, look at the parks, there's Disney, there's Universal Studios, there's SeaWorld, there's a ton of stuff there. Legoland. Also down here, which is where we go every summer, all the keys are down here. Key West is where this is the end, 90 miles from Cuba. It is the southernmost part. Marathon, Isla Mirada, Key Largo. There is a ton. It is so well positioned. If you want to take vacations, it's an easy place. Avenir is in all of Florida. Later, we're going to be talking about a Zoom call. If you are interested in this area, reach out. We would love to help you analyze the different communities. Right now, I've zoomed into Avenir as a whole, and there's a few things I want to point out before I go to the satellite map as well. It is this whole big area here, which is all of Avenir, is 5,000 acres. It's a big piece of property. It's only they're only developing on half of it. Like this part in this shaded area is all the only area they are building on, and that's half of it. That's roughly 2,500 acres is what they're building on. The rest of this is protected natural reserve. It's with the exception of this airport. I'll talk about that a little bit later. With the exception of this airport, in here there are, as you can see, Sweet Bay Natural Area. There are immense walking trails in here. And I'll show you the map that they show you as well, in addition to the Google map. There are immense walking trails here. If you are into nature and hiking and whatnot, this you can't do better. As I zoom in even further, there are several sub-communities. Avenir is almost, when it first started, they said it's going to be 3,950 homes. It would not surprise me if that number goes over 4,000. So let's say it's 4,000 homes, and they're very different communities going on. Like when they first started, there's Watermark and Wingate up here. These are Toll Brothers communities. And over here is Coral Isles, which don't even show anymore. If I zoom out, maybe it does. And there we go. Kenko is Coral Isles. The biggest community in terms of number of homes is Apex at Avenir at 562 homes. This is a couple really quick highlights here. Esprit is the newest 55 plus community. I love this community. This community we're going to be there for a while. This is going to be roughly, I think it's 462. I'll look it up in a minute. Number of homes. It just opened literally. It hasn't officially opened. I've been there and I've taken people there, but that's because we have a great relationship with this builder. That's new there. And last but not least, the other new thing there is the Somerset Academy. This is a high-rated charter school. I have 3 kids. I know how important schools are to families, and lots of families. This is a high-rated, high-regarded school in other parts of the county that now is open here. It just opened this year. It's K through 5, but there's talk that it's going to go a lot further, like let's say maybe through high school. More on the schools later. This is the overall site map. If you're looking at all these individual communities, we've sold more homes in Avenir than probably anybody. We know the difference between these communities, and there's a huge difference between these communities. There's some on the lower end and there's some on the higher end. Use us as a guide to help you do that. There's no cost to you out of your pocket. More on that later. But let's talk about some of these communities and things around it. This is the site map that Avenir uses. The developer is a company called Landstar. Another new development over in this community is WL Homes is here. WL Homes the L stands for Landstar. They've got another builder partner, that's the W, and they just opened. They're opening 3 communities there. Their first one is Lake Ridge. They have Stonegate. They have I think it's Lakeview. I forget the third, but the last one is gonna be the most expensive one, and it's gonna be elegant. I'll take these communities a little bit, not a little bit, but a bit one-on-one. So I want to give you the personality. Who moves who's living in these areas? Why would you want to, your family better than I do, obviously. But I can give you some hints as to where you should be looking. We've taken a lot of families to all these communities, and I can tell you some of the feedback, some of the insights that they've given us as we've explored the process. Before I go there, look at his Longview. That's one of them. The other ones that just caught my eye. Longview, I think, is the biggest of the WL homes. As I was saying, these are all walking trails here. You see all these lines here? These are, and this is how you get there. One, two, three, four, five. There's a ton of entrances, well, five entrances to get to these walking trails, and it's pure nature. Over here is the airport. This airport is not a commercial airport, and you're not going to hear it overhead. I've been to Avenir a bajillion times. You're not going to hear the traffic overhead. They go around it. Not to mention, it's a small airport. 19 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honor to help people, perhaps like you, do the exact same thing. So if you're thinking about moving into this area and you want to ask questions from people who've actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. But literally two of the best ways is in the description and the comment section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is have some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. This is one of the things why I think this is one of the best, still one of the best kept secrets in Florida. The type of people who are moving here have money. If you're concerned about the value of your home for years to come, these are some of the things you got to take into consideration. That airport is small and it's made for the people that live at Panther National. I'll tell you now pricing on that. Pricing at Panther National is somewhere between 4.5 million to 20 million. It's up there. The average, I'm told right now, just my sources, is they've been averaging about $12 million. It's a private membership community. To get in there, the numbers are shifting. The membership fee is like $500,000. I would love to help you. If you fit that profile, I would love to help you. I've taken buyers there. But if that's too much money for you, and a lot for most of you out there, it is, I'm sure. There are more affordable options. You can get into Avenir for under $1 million, and I'll tell you how. But my point is that all the communities there the values held by things like that. That airport, Panther National, you have $12 million neighbors. That airport are taking people, the people might live there, to Key West, to the Hamptons, to Martha's Vineyard. So I always tell people, look at the mall. Like downtown at the Gardens has the Gardens Mall, right? Downtown at the Gardens is a thing called Downtown at the Gardens. Next to it, the Gardens Mall. By some accounts, it's the nicest mall in Florida. Look at the stores that are in there. Rolex, Gucci, Brooks Brothers. Wherever you live, I don't care which state you live or anywhere, look at that. Those are important elements. Is one of the insights we give to people. Those are the important elements of the neighborhood you're getting yourself into. If you see those stores instead of, like, let's say Steers or the Dress Barn, there's a big difference. So that tells you who's moving to that area. On the map, you could see Watermark and Wingate, and then Coral Isles. These are the first communities that are in there. They're sold out now. They started prior to COVID. That's how long this project started to go. It's still in the infancy. They're opening new communities all the time, and there's still more to open. But when they opened, um, they closed out. Of course, things were slower in 2020 because of COVID. But once things got back to normal, when things got back to normal, they sold pretty quickly. I'm going to talk about this town center here in a minute. That's a really important thing to know. And living in Palm Beach, Florida, we are part of eXp Luxury Homes, and we are a new home co-broker. Sometimes people ask, do all we do new construction? The answer is no. So on these, we do existing homes as well. And we don't just do Avenir. We basically do from Port St. Lucie down to down to Miami, but we have agents all across the state. So if you're looking on the West Coast, we can help you there too. But we do existing homes, and I say this because Avenir and within Avenir, Watermark, Wingate, Coral Isles. Coral Isles is not quite sold out yet, but or any of those sold out communities, we can help you with those existing homes. And the builders aren't going to tell you about those, but we will. So we could help you, as I mentioned, with Watermark. There's another community over here called Keovini and Latieri. You don't see how well that you can see that. And over here is the town center. The town center is getting ready to open. And I will tell you this about that. When that town center opens, prices will go higher. It's just the way I've seen these master plan communities a million times, a million times. And they when the amenities open in each community, when the town center opens, it's an opportunity for the builder to raise prices. So now is sort of the time to get into these communities. So Watermark, I see people moving from Watermark. If this is you, we can help you to these other communities like Apex. Apex is 562 homes. It's like probably just slightly, it's about 60% sold right now. A lot of people are moving there. People are moving from like Coral Isles into Panther National. We could help with that too. So if you're local, I see a lot of movement within Avenir. If you're local to Avenir and you want help with these communities, don't just walk in these sales centers. That's crazy. If you walk into any of these sales centers on your own, you're absolutely crazy. We highly recommend independent representation. Independent representation means we need to be there on your very first visit. Oftentimes people will call us afterwards and say, hey, Ray, I was just at this community and want to see if I can get your help. Oftentimes the builder will not allow us to help you at that point. The cost to using us out of pocket is zero out of your pocket. It's the builder who pays us, and they're happy to do so. You can ask them. We'll be there from the beginning to end, from the first visit, which we have to do. If you want help with your inspections, I just did one last week with an out-of-state buyer. We helped with them. We'll be there for your closing. We'll be there to help you, help maybe even keep the builders accountable while you're not there. When it comes to the existing homes, the builders are not going to tell you about that. They can't sell you those. So they want to sell you their homes. So reach out. We have your back. We have your back. When it comes to looking at these communities, we have your back in protecting you. We're unbiased. We'd love to help you here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. So I'm back to the map and I'm going to go look at the satellite of it. As you can see, this is such a new area that some of these are really showing us if there's no homes here, but it's not true. So how do you get into Avenir? I don't have as much money, let's say, and I want to get into Avenir because I know it's great. Truth is, there's two other master plan communities nearby, Westlake and Arden. This is going to cost you a little bit more money. You can make the jump. I've had people who have made the jump from Arden and Westlake into this community because they saw the long-term vision of it. And this is the best way to do that. There are some homes here, as you can see here. This is sort of the entry level, so to speak, for Avenir. It's called Avondale. There are some cul-de-sacs in here as well. Banner Court, there's a few. This one's just being built out now. Some really private. We help someone over here on this lake. You have a canal, lake canal, home backing up to a private preserve. I mean, my God, some of the best lots can be found still here, even though they're more than 50% sold. Some of the best deals are here, and I'll tell you why. This is if you want to know how to negotiate with these builders, there's no better place than we here at Living in Palm Beach. Here's the thing with Avondale. It says entry level, but there's a few factors going on. The builder is Pulte Homes. Underneath, excuse my voice, underneath Pulte Homes is Devasta. Devasta is the luxury end of Pulte. It's luxury. The luxury collection of communities, and that's what this one is. They have a lot of other communities. This builder has a lot of other communities currently in the works. Amara is one of them. They have Hendricks Reserve is another one. There's like at least two others that don't come off the top of my head right now, but there's a few of them there that this builder's working on just opening up. They want out of Avenir. They want to sell that out and move on to these other communities. They're moving some of their staff to these places. So they're sort of getting geared. So what are they doing? The incentives there are insane. Later, we're going to be talking about CDD fees and fees for any of these communities. If you want to know about the fees, you need to know about these fees if you're considering this area. Wait around to the end. I'll talk about some of the CDDs. Um, but to briefly touch on it now, Avondale, when they first opened, the fully loaded CDD was $5,500 a year in your taxes. Again, I'll talk about that later. And the builder now bought out half of that CDD, the portion they were able to. So it's significantly lower, under $3,000 now in a year. It's part of your taxes, not an HOA fee. But there are houses in there that have the full fee. So if you're like ignorant and don't know this neighborhood and you just go the nilly-willy, the houses on MLS are not treated equal. Some have that paid off CDD half, some do not. We can help you know which are those. We'll help you with that. The new ones with the builder now are in fact paid off. But if you buy a home, an existing home, and that is not paid off, and you get a bill that's $2,500 more every single year, I bet you're going to be mad. Having said that, the incentives there are crazy, and you can get a home there, in the low end, in the mid 700s, and they go all the way up to somewhere's over a million. But that's like the best, easiest way in. But let me tell you the most popular community, and I'll go there right now. It's Apex at Avenir. So as I zoom away from Avondale, we are going to go to Apex. It's not labeled. Let me see if I zoom out, it's probably labeled. Yeah, Apex at Avenir right here. But let me zoom into Apex. It's 562 homes, as I mentioned. It's all this area. They've got a combination of, preserved, not preserved, but garden views. They've got lake views. On their premise, they have one of the best clubhouses. The Coconut Boulevard is the dividing line between east and west of Avenir. Everything west of Avenir, west of Coconut, is going to be using the Western Clubhouse, which is right here, actually. You can see they're starting to build it here. That is going to be one of the biggest clubhouses, not the biggest in Avenir. I'm going to get to that in a minute. It's not the biggest. It's not the biggest in Avenir, but anyways, this is the clubhouse. This is going to be anyone that's west of Coconut Boulevard is going to be using this clubhouse, and this clubhouse is going to be insane. Let me start with the fact that it's one of the first and only clubhouses that it's going to have a restaurant on site. So if you want to go to the pool and go to the restaurant, you can do that here. Nail salon, pickleball galore, tennis, everything. I mean, literally everything. Resort style pool, card room, basketball courts, lap pools. There's everything. The gym is going to be sick. There's going to be. This is one. I want to say it's 3,900 square feet. 39,000 square feet. It could be wrong. Don't quote me. It's bigger than the Eastern Clubhouse. Anything east of Coconut Boulevard, and I'll mention those communities right now, are going to be using the Eastern or the First Clubhouse, which is also nice, but just a little bit smaller. Those communities are going to be Wingate, Watermark, Coral Isles. It's going to be Avondale. It's going to be Latieri, and I know I missed at least one. So that's how that works. Everything west, which are a fewer, there's Geo Homes and La Beyond, which I'm going to talk about next. This is one of my favorite communities. It's getting ready to sell out. they're going to be using the Western. But now let's go talk about l'ambiance of Avenir. You really should use this as your guide to Avenir. If you're thinking about living and moving into Avenir, this is really the best video you're going to ever see. Tell your friends about it as well. If people are thinking about moving, let them know. Um, Across from this beautiful amenity center here, which is on the premises of GL Homes Apex, across the street, across Avenir Drive, is this community here. It's right here. And there's some good things that there's some nice things about this community and distinct things about this community. It's called L'Ambiance. The builder is Coulter, and the people who visit Coulter each and every time love their models. So oftentimes we get a lot of families coming into town. By the way, if you're thinking about this, give us some advance notice. I have times when I have 3 or 4 families in town at the same time, and I would love to help you all. So give me some advance notice so I can secure your slot out. When people come, we look at sometimes they'll look at a couple of different communities in here, and they should. Um, they look at La Beyonce and Apex as an example, and here's a couple of distinguishing factors. I mean, both are really high quality builders. Um, GL Homes builds a great home. Coulter does. The distinguishing factors of the home of Coulter is that they have high ceilings, they have more personalizations, open floor plan, lots of windows. Those are some of the things that people like with that builder. L'Ambiance is a lot of the lots are preserve lots. So in other words, they back up to nature preserve where you have nothing behind you, which some people like. I like that. My house is like that. I have private, no one can see us. I love it. When you have a lake lot, which looks beautiful, you're oftentimes on the other side of the lake, you have homes. Take that into mind. We could help you with the picking out the lots. Lot pricing is all over the place. You can get a zero lot in some of these communities. You can spend $500,000 on these communities. Let us help you in finding and out, uncovering that value there. Um, but if you like preserve, that's where l'Ambiance is good. Not as many water lots. They're getting ready to sell out. We've made a video right there on the models that are for sale. We're helping them trying to sell. We coordinate with a lot of the builders and trying to help them with their quick delivery homes, sometimes on MLS. But in l'Ambiance, their models are for sale for the Page and for the Page model and the Sydney model. 2.4 and $2.47 million. Decorated models. If you want to get on our model list, we get word of all these models coming for sale. Reach out to us down below, email us, and we'll put you on that list for when we see them coming about. But those are decorated models, oftentimes that comes with all the furniture and all the immense upgrades, because most of those homes have great upgrades in it. But that's La Beyond. Their other community, same builder, Coulter, just opened a community next door. It's Esprit. L'Ambiance is a 55 plus community. Apex 55. No, I'm sorry, is an all age community. Scratch it. All age community. The only two 55 plus communities at this point is Regency, which is more than halfway sold out, probably getting close to 3/4 of it sold out. That's Toll Brothers. And this new one I'm about to tell you is Esprit, which is Coulter's version of the 55. Let me show you that. So as we zoom out of La Beyond, you can see Esprit right here. Esprit is going to be 481 homes. They've so far sold 7. There are big discounts if you get in early. So if you want the best pricing, now's the time. I know that after a dozen homes, that's how this builder works it. That's how most builders do it. We can help you navigate and negotiate these deals, but once they get a threshold, their threshold in this community is a dozen, which by the time this video airs, it might be done. They're probably going to be there. They're going to raise prices. The best time in any community is, you can probably fill in the blank, is when they first open. They're with the lowest prices, and gradually they keep raising the prices. This is the map of Esprit. As you can see, this is a really big area, big community. It's next to L'Alliance. The thing is, they're going to be using the same models at L'Alliance. They're going to be using at Esprit. The clubhouse, the clubhouse is going to be bigger than the Western clubhouse. So um, it's going to be one of the biggest clubhouses in the area with all the amenities you can imagine. All these are next to Panther National. As I mentioned, this is like, these are like, $12 million homes in here. The map, you could see part of it, part of the golf course there. A lot of seasonal people live there. They're probably, I think they bought and they've sold and closed on like about, I think 30 homes now. So they're making their headway. So those are some of the communities. The Somerset Academy I mentioned just opened. Right now, if you have someone in high school, they're using Palm Beach Gardens High School. But this is such big area, they're going to be expanding. So I got from good sources that Somerset is going to expand beyond K through 5, which is where they have K through 5th grade. But let me go to here a couple. This is another great community getting ready to sell out. So L'Alliance is getting ready to sell out. You're getting near the end of Toll Brothers Regency. But they're competing now with Esprit. So we can help navigate that for you. Solana Bay, almost selling out. They have another one that they have a big presence up in Port St. Lucie. They have, if you speak to them, I'm going to zoom in. If you speak to the builder there, and I did just recently, just we have the best streetscape in all of Avenir. And you know what? They might be right. It really is beautiful there. And they are on the biggest lake in Avenir, which is here. And if you want, like in some of the existing homes they've sold already, we can help you with those. As I said, um, some of the best views are right there. Do you want a long lake view looking at two fountains? You can get that here. Even in Toll Brothers Regency, you can get some of that. Um, this community is really nice, and the incentives there are crazy. Let me tell you about that. In Port St. Lucie, the Akel is the builder, Akel. They are building a community called Sundance, and it's going to be about 8,000 homes. So it's going to be literally twice the size of all of Avenir. Um, Port St. Lucie, you guys have seen us. I cover that. We do a lot of business up there. It is like a mecca when it comes to new construction homes. By the way, if you want to know the best communities of Port St. Lucie, look at this video. That'll tell you that. It's a little bit less money. So if you have a constraint on your budget, if you budget is not as high, or you just want to spend less money, Port St. Lucie is a great place to consider. 8,000 homes at Sundance. So because of that, they're going to be they're looking to do they want to out of Solana Bay. There's only last I looked, there was only 7 opportunities on to be built homes. That was about a week ago on to be built homes at Solana Bay. They have some quick delivery homes right now where the pricing is insane. I can get you a good deal. Some of them up to 150,000, maybe more. I can tell you how to navigate that, and there's a trick to it. That to get that off what they're offering, especially if it's a quick delivery home. The incentives on the quick delivery homes, they want off their books. So they'll give you a great deal. I'll help you get that. And the reason why they're doing this is because they want to move on, just like the Avondale with the other communities at Devasta and Pulte. Akel wants to move up to Sundance, which is getting ready to open in a few months now, and they just want to move on from Solana Bay. Let us help you when it comes to any of these communities in Avenir. So this is what I was talking about earlier, guys. This is our website, livinginpalmbeachfl.com. Some great things about this. If you want to do a home search, this is a way. Up here, there's an advanced search. If you want to dig down into like real specific stuff, you could do it. You can get alerts. If you want to look at communities, Avenir as an example, click on that. All these are the most popular communities we see. Avenir, click on Avenir. What this is going to tell you, it's going to show you our latest video on Avenir, which is probably going to be this one in that slot soon. This is just one of the many videos we've done on Avenir. We've done a ton on in Avenir. So number one community for the last 2 years running now in terms of amount of sales we're seeing. Um, this page will tell you all about Avenir. Um, if you read on, it will. If you want to get alerts on Avenir, tells you the average listed. This is in the existing market, 92 now, and 1.3 is the. That's about right. The median price. So if you want to, search, the best way to search for any home, existing or new construction, is right there on our website, livingin palmbeachfl.com. Back to this map, because I didn't mention much of this yet. I want to. The town center. Everyone's been talking. When they open this town center, prices are going to go up. I did mention that. There's a Publix in there that they're building. And that's scheduled to open in a few months now. Once that opens, then the other things are going to come up. Other stores are waiting on Publix to open. Over here, Coconut and like right about here, the southwestern part of this of North Lake and Coconut is something called Coconut Crossings. It's that little sliver of land there. Lots of stores there. Down this way, if you go east, there's the Ibis community. Over here is if you want like they've got like what do you call it? Like range, like golf range and whatnot. That's all here. Part of it's separate from the Sand Hill Crane golf course. Here you go. The Nest par three golf course, like a small little part of the community of the golf course, par three. And they have ranges there, driving ranges, and all that kind of stuff. I mentioned Toll Brothers, that Regency, some very good incentives there because they know they have to compete with Esprit, which is now brand new and shiny. Great deals there. Talked about DeVasta. Panther Natural, love to help you guys there if that's your budget. Over here, the town center is going to be sort of like Alton Town Center. If you guys are familiar, Easton Palm Beach Gardens, a community called Alton. There's an Alton Town Center. You can take your golf cart here in Avenir to the town center, go to Publix, go to the many restaurants that will be there. In Alton Town Center, there's like 18 restaurants there. It's a lot. The other part of Avenir here is you've got some new communities. Kenko, which did Coral Isles, is doing Orchard Isles. They're going to be like that end. Like Coral Isles is $2 to $3 million. Orchard Isles is going to be something like that, if not more, like in the threes, 3 million. There's a farm here, a working farm that's coming along. That there's not a lot on that, but we do know there is a working farm. Medical people, Jupiter Medical Center bought all this land here. See this medical office, and they're building a hospital nearby. So another great thing about the people. Doctors are moving here for this exact reason. They know what's going on. You want to be sitting, living near doctors who have the money to spend. That's what Avenir's about. So this is sort of rounding out some of the stuff that we're seeing, and you could see there's lots of future residential. Landstar has not really sold everything yet. Use us to keep informed as to what's going on in Avenir. This community, although it's been around 5 years, is still in its infancy, and it is one of the most exciting parts of all Palm Beach, and it's only in the beginning stages, only getting started. Apex, Esprit, Panther National, Avenir, Palm Beach Gardens, paradise here in South Florida.